Tia leaves. Hey, DECAP, I'm 17 and a junior in high school thinking about college right now. I don't know if I want to pursue music or stick with something safe like business because I love doing this shit, but I'm scared of it going nowhere. I don't expect you to have all the answers, but do you have any advice? I definitely don't have all the answers, but I can talk about my personal experience. And if this is helpful for you, feel free to use it. And if not, feel free to discard it. I can kind of relate to that. I remember when I was 17 years old, I was making beats. I was making beats in Cool Edit. I can play you guys some of them. Everyone told me I was good. I started getting a reputation around school. I was working with all the local artists. I felt like I had a gift for making beats, making music, making songs. My parents saw my passion and they supported me. But at the same time, I think because they loved me, they wanted me to go down a path that was secure and that secured a positive future for me, which I totally respect. Parents want the best for their kids. They want good things for them. But for me, that was difficult because I really wanted to do music. But a part of me was like, well, I don't know how to make money doing this. I don't know how to do it. So I didn't have the answers like any 17-year-old. I didn't know how I would make it work, but I just loved it. Right now, sitting here today, I'm 36 years old, and I have a successful career in music, in a lucky, privileged position to impact the entire music industry with my sound. But when I was 17, I didn't have any of that. So for me, I went to college. I was living in Nashua, New Hampshire, and I went to University of New Hampshire. And I got known around the campus for making music. But I was studying business, and then I got into psychology, which I found was more interesting to me. All in all, school didn't work out so well for me because I was such an independent self-starter. That's my personality. I always had this entrepreneurial spirit since I was a kid. But for some reason, I just wasn't into business classes. I was more into psychology and the mind. I'd actually be taking psychology classes, and in the middle of class, I was so bored by the classes. I just hated school. I'm a student and I'm a teacher, but I did not like school. I would sit in the back of the class and have a book, a psychology book or a spiritual book or something, and I'd be reading it while the teacher was teaching. It was just so boring to me. By my third year, I already had dropped out after my first year. And then my girlfriend at the time was in UNH, and then I went back, school to try again, but it was really like I wanted to be closer to my girlfriend, you know. And so after my third year, I ended up dropping out of UNH, and my parents were disappointed. I didn't have a plan of safety, but I just had this feeling like I just couldn't be there anymore. At that time, I was getting more into meditation, getting in touch with my thoughts and my true feelings and all that. So I dropped out of school and I moved to New York City, and then I started grinding, and I was fucking broke. This was in 2007. So for me, I was making music. I was selling beats here and there for like $100, $200 or whatever. And I made a little money off of that, but it didn't sustain me. And so how I made money, or tried to make money, was flipping on eBay. Like I was in New York City, so I would buy a laptop for like $300 and sell it for like $700. So I'd make a little money here and there. After New York City, I kind of realized like I didn't know how to make it happen. And so I think like that just created this drive in me, this yearning, like what is life? What am I doing? Like how do I do this? I could not figure it out. I couldn't. But I had so much passion to try to figure it out. And how it manifested for me was it became more like a spiritual search because I couldn't find fulfillment in the world and in career, even in music. I always found it in the music itself, but how am I going to live by just making music? Also, keep in mind at that time, there was no Spotify, there was no Apple Music, there was YouTube, but you know, there was no ability to make money off streaming. What was big at that time was Napster and LimeWire, where people used to steal each other's music. I can't sit here and say, no, just go with your passion, go with your passion. I can't do that because that was my path. But I don't know what your path is. I don't know. All I know is if I had gone with what was safe, I don't think I would be as happy as I am now. Right now, I wake up every day and I feel a sense of purpose. I feel a sense of, wow, there are options. I can make an impact in music. I can make music. I have built up a career in music where now I'm in control. I own all my publishing. I own all the copyrights to all my sounds. Ownership. Learn about the concept of ownership. Learn about passive streams of income. These are things that you want to really get into your mind. Passive streams of income will make you money whether you're working, you're sleeping, on vacation, grinding for 80 hours or 100 hours. I still work my ass off like I have no money. I don't work for money. I work for creating something new. So to keep it short and simple, I would encourage you not to take the unsafe route and just completely dive in necessarily, but to have a plan for how you are going to create what you want. Dream real big. Write down your goals in life. Maybe you want to make money making music. Maybe you want to make 6 figures, 7 figures, Write down exactly what you want in your mind, even if it sounds huge. I believe that the universe will get involved if you make a big goal. Dream big. Just think big. Think about something even beyond what you can conceive of right now. Write down all the things that you want. And I'll tell you what, I have surprised myself on every level with different things that I've achieved that I've put out into the universe, put out my thoughts onto paper, put out into my subconscious. I have surprised myself with what kind of results I've gotten, and I've surprised people in my life. And I'll continue to, because that's the way I think. I'm always putting energy towards intention, what I want to create, what I want to happen. Even if I don't know how that thing is going to happen, I put it out on paper. I put it out in Evernote or in Notion. Type it in. Write down your goals. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know somehow it is going to happen because there will be a phone call where someone's in alignment with the thing I want. Or maybe someone will give me an opportunity and I'll say no to it because I know it's not in alignment with what I want. Focus on your intention. Through intention, you create alignment. Through alignment, you bring in opportunities that are in that pathway that will get you towards that intention that you want. So I would say just think about what it is. Think about what it is that you want. Think about what you want and release it. A book I recommend is The Path of Least Resistance by Robert Fritz. Start to think about what you want. Think about what you want and put it out there that you don't necessarily have to go all for the thing that you want and give up your money like I did, but you don't not have to either. I think everything you do will build character, and I think life is meant to just try shit. Try different shit and see what happens.